When you're a person that doesn't believe in the Lord and doesn't have faith in God, then you're a acute paranoid schizophrenic, and you put surveillance equipment in everybody's ass, right? So you can manipulate them with money, right? And then sit there and say they'll gladly kill over me and my grandpa's money and watch you and Jesus die, Parsons, right? And then you look at things like there's this young man that passed away from cancer back in a couple of years. It was quite a few years ago, probably about 4, I think. And when I was a kid, one of my favorite comic books was Stan Lee's Black Panther. Okay, because I grew up on Marvin Gaye and Shaft was an asshole. Marvin Gaye was a better guy than Shaft, but yeah, he was a jerk. Yeah, he has sex with the white woman. His wife's his queen, and he goes back and is like, "But you just had sex for a week with the white girl. Okay, it's is he gonna bring home a sexually transmitted disease, and she's your queen? So Shaft was a jerk. Yeah, I remember when you'll see it when you're watching it when you're a kid and you're raised in our culture. It's stupid, but when you go back and watch it, it's like, oh God, what a misogynistic dick. He acts like James Bond, right? He's got a bigger dick. How do you know Sean Connery don't got a bigger dick than Richard Roundtree? You don't know. Ask the ladies they've had sex with, right? So, John Holmes, but that's irrelevant. Life's not a dick measuring contest. Life is a gift from the glory of God, right? And some of us have average, so you big dicks can feel like you're better at something than us. Okay, funny. Thank you, Patrick. I love you. My son's funny, but guys, Chadwick Boseman, okay, prayed to the Lord, okay. Should I take this role? And he didn't take it. He said he wanted it. He prayed to the Lord to be T'Challa from the Black Panther movie, right? And of course, Jesus answered and he got it, right? It's like, yeah, your leading lady is going to be the daughter of a political leader in an African country and a supermodel. Oh, wow. Yeah, yeah. And neither one wants to or even considers living the Lord's Prayer, right? And then they have this daughter who wants to be part of a propaganda movie so she can be great like her dad and her mom, right? And he's certain that he asked Jesus in prayer, and Jesus said, take the role. Take the role. It's the opportunity of a lifetime, okay? And then the guy who the military studies and says, this is most likely the guy that's most like Jesus today, okay, goes on Facebook, and Chadwick Boseman's dying from cancer, and the guy who like Jesus on Facebook addresses his Facebook page and says, well, this is all right and everything like that, but this is a comic book based off of the life of Haile Selassie. Could you stand up for the faith of Haile Selassie and stand up for the Lord's Prayer with me? And if you can't do that, I ain't got no use for you. And then I get some guy that replies, hey, show some respect, Ralph Earl Parsons Jr. Ralph Parsons. Show some respect. He's dying of cancer. My mom was murdered by the cancer industry, the medical industry of cancer. And we're still not living the Lord's Prayer. But I want the people that murdered my mother with the cancer industry to live the Lord's Prayer and their children to live it too. What would Jesus do? Right? And so this is the first time in history, okay, that everyday people, Barbarous or Jesus, were given the opportunity, okay, in public to talk to and meet and shake hands with and say, thank you for our freedom. Thank you for the Lord's Prayer and standing up for it no matter what. Thank you, thank you. They didn't have YouTube and Twitter and Facebook and Tumblr or whatever it was. I can't remember what it was. In Jesus and Haile Selassie's and Judah Krishnamurti's time, I mean, George Harrison could talk to Judah Krishnamurti, but not the dreams of the everyday housewife and here in Topeka. That one needs a spanking, another needs a changing, and one needs a cookie, another one's a hugging, one's on the way. Hope it ain't twins again, right? I'm glad Raquel Welch just signed $1 million pact. Jackie's in the discotheque learning a new dance, right? So, this is the first time. All right. And you guys get all that thing, sexiest man of the year, sexiest man. I'm pretty sure Keanu Reeves probably runs sexiest man of the year on some magazine, right? And in a movie, he plays a man like Judah Krishnamurti, and it's nothing like Judah Krishnamurti, okay? And if you go back and look at the collected works and dialogues and what Judah Krishnamurti, the man who's supposed to be like the Buddha, who Keanu Reeves plays in a movie, there's no way, okay, that Keanu Reeves has ever been as sexy as Judah Krishnamurti a day in his life. Okay. Has Keanu Reeves gone to the United Nations and said, you all ought to live, and told the Pope and the corporations that support the Pope, you guys all ought to live the Lord's Prayer? Instead of talk about it and have rich people sign on a piece of paper saying, we're going to be nice to the poor people now because everybody's watching and we have TVs and cell phones. Right? Okay, so what the hypocrites did this time is, let's take the guy who's like Jesus, according to all the documents, and let's put him on social media and see what the heathens do with him, because we know what we hypocrites are going to do, right? Yeah. Boy, hypocrites. Ugh. And heathens, how are you heathens any better than Brian Thompson? How's Luigi Mangione any better than Brian Thompson? Is Luigi Mangione getting his balls rotted off and his wife have sex with super soldiers at Fort Huachuca and passed around on chat rooms to see what will happen if Luigi goes off? And I wouldn't use a gun. I'd use my bare hands. Viva la familia. Okay, do you understand? Oh, yeah. Dwayne Wright Johnson. Okay. If he came up to me publicly and said, stop spreading lies about Jesus, I challenge you to a cage fight. I'm there, man. We won't even get in the cage, guys. Once it hits SportsCenter, Rock Johnson wants to beat up this old fat guy that got poisoned by the military for standing up to the genocidal operations on the border and beat him up in a ring for money to continue being a bitch for money and jacking the hose. And Parsons like, I'm there, man. I'll bring me and the ghost of Joe Frazier and Muhammad Ali and Bruce Lee. Yahweh. Okay. And don't forget Sun Yat-sen, D.T. Suzuki, Judah Krishnamurti, and Haile Selassie, the 3 sexiest men of the 20th century. Yahweh. Okay, right? There's no way Keanu Reeves, Jim Caviezel, or the kid who, no one's ever played D.T. Suzuki in a movie. Ken Watanabe or Russell Wong are as sexy as Sun Yat-sen, D.T. Suzuki, Judah Krishnamurti, Haile Selassie, and me. Hi, I'm gorgeous. I know. Jump back, kick myself. Okay. Oh, he also played James Brown in a movie, right? So how many people do you know that David Rockefeller has the private, because they signed off on a contract through Facebook or something, and they have an app on their phone so the government, because of the language in the Patriot Act, can watch and have everything you have in your phone. Tyler Perry, the Oval Office, right? Praise to Jesus all the time. I've mentioned Tyler Perry. I've watched his movies. Okay. He acts like I don't exist. He makes more money than Madam C.J. Walker. So you can all be Jerry curls. Shit, I'm serious. Relaxer getting canked. Okay, do you know what I'm saying? Denzel Washington is a bigger bitch, okay, than the Yellow Rose of Texas. And she wasn't a bitch. She was just doing what she needed to do to survive. Okay. Get sent to other because he was a Catholic, a hypocrite. It's better to be with Texans. I'd rather laugh with the sinners and cry with the saints because sinners are much more fun. Oh, Billy Joe's a little left of center. He's crazy. He don't know what the fuck he's talking about. He's drunk. Okay, because the microphone smells like a beer. Okay, that piano's a carnival there. It is. Yeah, it is there. Hey, Cliffy, give me another bar. They go, hey, Norm. Hey, have a belly up here. Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name if they can fucking remember because they're drunk, right? So, guys. This is a unique time in history. Ruth Gator Ginsburg could have told everybody this guy in New Mexico is the real deal. And my ancestors were wrong and betraying Jesus Christ, betraying David, betraying Moses. And it's time to redeem our ancestors and do the right thing and not a Spike Lee fucking movie. You know what I'm saying there? Do you know? Okay, Mars Blackman. Okay, do you get it? So go hang those Nikes off of that hello telephone line. Give me some time. I'm living in twilight. Hello? How are you? I'm a traveling Wilbury. I'm funny. Old people know I'm funny. That was funny. It's funny. I'm a traveling Wilbury. Oh, Jiminy crackers. History. Yeah. They were some of the most famous rock stars in the history of the world in their generation. Most of you guys don't even know who the fuck they are. Okay, right? Traveling Wilburys. Okay. Yeah. Roy Orbison was one. They don't know who Orbison is. 19. That's Aretha Franklin. 19. Don't know. Queen of Soul. Right. So all the shit those people did really doesn't amount to anything. Okay. If it wasn't for A Wonderful Life, none of you'd know who Jimmy Stewart is. And he had better movies. Broken Arrow. That was a good one. Yeah. My wife's Sincere. My wife's Sincere. And everywhere I go, I take her with me. My wife's Sincere. It's my favorite Jimmy Stewart movie. That one, and as other ones, I like lots of Jimmy Stewart movies. I can watch them because it was extortion, exploitation, the Lord's Prayer is just a limerick, and we're all cartoon characters. But do you understand what I'm saying? Comic book. Hey, Comic-Con. Say it isn't so. Say it isn't so, Stan. Right, Stanley. I can only hope that I'm so isolated here and everybody's so manipulated that Jennifer Lopez doesn't know I exist. That, who else did I have a crush? Oh, yeah. Angela Bassett. That Angela Bassett has no clue I exist. Kim Kardashian doesn't know I'm alive. Okay. That's my best hope, that my family's just scared and crazy because of all the mean assholes here, and all the people on the outside looking in don't even know I'm alive. And they think, for some reason, Keanu Reeves is more sexy than Judy Krishnamurti. Ken Watanabe is more sexy than D.T. Suzuki. Russell Wong's more sexy than Sun Yat-sen. And Chadwick Boseman's more sexy than Haile Selassie. Okay. If you trained your whole life to be peaceful, what do you do in the triad attacks? You don't train. You just are faithful. And if you're faithful your whole life, you're peaceful. And when the tyrant attacks, you do the right thing. You can't train people to be faithful. You're either faithful or you're not. Okay? I watched Selena last night again. Yeah. I love that woman's voice. Biddy, biddy, bamba, biddy, biddy. Everybody else love her voice. She has such bravado. She does, man. I've been playing it. And then after that, when I was doing my video game stuff for NAU, they must have played almost all the Selena stuff I downloaded off the... Yeah. I'm telling you, scientists are mean. And women that are psychologically raped by technology to be successful with money are just as mean as they are. Maybe one of these days, that pretty girl on that movie 20 years ago will be a pretty woman. She's walking back to me, but I don't know if it'll be to me. But whoever she walks back to, they'll be like, wow, you're more beautiful now than you were when you played Cell. Because you live in the Lord's Prayer today, baby. All right. Always and forever, right? Love you guys. Peace, man.